Now,
Okay, perfect. Start the meeting here. First thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for February 11th. We sent those out and Bernie sent them to you. Can I get a motion? So moved. Okay. Okay. Well, good. So second item up, BYSA. Is this everyone that's finished?
Yes,
Okay.
Nick and I.
Yep. Could you introduce, are you taking some minutes, Bernie?
I am, yeah.
Okay. Appreciate that. Volunteer. Thank you. You,
But as good as last ones. Yeah, you like those?
brevity.
yes. So why don't we start with, BYSA, if you could introduce yourself for the minutes?
So Andy Ball.
McCarron.
Yeah, perfect. And, BYSA asked to join us. So why don't we, turn the floor over to you two and what would you like to talk about?
We understand that there's an issue with the chiller in the, BOR. We're wondering, we want to know, kind of get an idea of, I know you guys haven't had enough time to figure out when it's going to get fixed,
Yeah.
but to just try and take into consideration the lack that we already have of turf time for our lacrosse season,
Yeah.
that if possible, push it further into the summer so that our lacrosse teams can possibly get in there for at least during the muddy, crazy spring.
I'll let Tom speak to that. Do you know
The
this?
repairs won't affect the turf at all.
Oh, okay.
Any repairs we have to do is off the turf. The turf is actually right now affecting the repairs because we've got turf sitting on the trench, so we got to move the turf and get to it.
Got it. So do you know when the turf is planning on going on
Next week.
next week? Okay.
The ice is all out, and we're gonna be scrubbing the floor. Hopefully started right now.
I just drove by the sign. I thought I saw the 23rd is
The 23rd is when the schedule opening.
It's on sign on the down.
Yeah, we bumped it up when the chillers went down.
Yeah.
We just bumped our schedule up.
Yeah, and then we're putting it down, and then it is out of commission for a week.
We're gonna pull it up. It's gonna be up for like 4 weekends because we have 3 weekend events that require the turf being up.
Yeah,
and they're
so
full day rentals for both weekends.
Yeah, so we'll pull it, and then it's gonna stay down.
It's gonna stay up. Michelle worked very hard to consolidate these events into the month of May.
And is the online schedule current? Is it
Yes.
easily available and so on?
Yes.
So it's not going to be available for the whole month of May?
It's the first week or so of May, it'll be available. Let's look at the calendar. Yeah, we'll be pulling it up right around the 11th or so.
For the rest of the month.
For the rest of the month, yeah. By that time, everybody should be outside.
A nice idea.
Well, that was the issue. Like last year, our spring was so rainy, we could have used it for the whole month of May. We would have rented it for the whole month of May, but we ran into that same kind of issue that it just wasn't available. And I think that's where just some of our frustration comes from with the amount that we invested into the turf, that it's just not feasible for our sports.
Yeah, I would say the big, obviously March, April, May are probably the biggest months. After June, it probably really starts.
March and April are huge months.
Yeah.
Historically, once you get about the 15th of April,
yeah,
all your fields are, even your baseball fields and stuff that have to be really dry,
yeah,
are generally ready to go.
Yeah. And then the reason it's coming up on the 11th is because of the you know, there's events would normally be held here.
We could have some events over there, but we have
Right.
moved them over. But there's a couple of the large events. The Rotary drop and swap,
Yeah.
clothing drop and swap. They require 100-something tables. And I'm not putting tables on that turf. Just me.
No, but
I
that
don't
would be
need.
something that would have in the yard probably.
They like to have it over here because then they can just drive up to the door and drop it off. Otherwise, they have to carry it up the stairs. And this is a large event. A lot of stuff gets dropped off and sorted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just makes it easier to bring it in.
Yeah, well, let's hope for some good weather, but basically the turf will be available from 23rd to May 11th. I'll shut down for 3 weeks and it would be available after that.
Right.
Okay. So you're frustrated because last year May was out and this year, well,
And we understand that also you guys are doing major renovations over here, so the need for the BOR is different this year. We understand that. We're just saying, like, going forward, some things, if we could try and either push the schedule till June or like the events till June, or, you know, have them use this area rather than pulling out the turf. Because it takes 2 days to pull up the turf, takes 2 days to put down the turf at least. So it's, you know, it's not just a day type of thing.
And I hate to say it, but perhaps we need to just block off the whole month and we will pay for a whole
Yeah.
month.
Because I think that's just where,
It's that necessary sometimes,
right.
that we need someplace to practice.
what timeline are you talking about?
I don't know. That was just
Probably April and May, honestly.
So my question is, you guys, it's just the employees come up and set that turf, take it up and put it down. All right, so it says it takes 2 days.
We can get it all on the pallets, pull it up, put it on the pallets in a day. A good heavy day with my crew that gets on the pallets.
Yep.
Then you take another half day to take care of the pallets and then clean up any scatterings.
And this month, so we have voting going on over there, plus,
Voting has been moved into this building here.
okay. All
And
right,
that pulls it, added an extra week to the schedule.
and then so we got the clothes drop, and what else?
We have a clothes drop, what we're referring to as the Witches Fair.
Yeah.
And then there's one other one that escapes my,
Is it the heavy equipment?
no, we don't have enough space for them this year.
Okay,
They take both buildings
yeah,
and the parking
okay,
lot.
yeah.
And we just don't have enough room for them this year, so they went somewhere else this year.
Yeah, hopefully it goes for me.
And all the events are all over the weekend.
They're on the weekends and they're full day rentals.
What if they brought kids up to come up and help stack all that stuff? I know it probably would. be a
We've,
The,
we've helped in the past, but I wouldn't say the kids come up and help.
They-
Love the kids. but-
They've had people come up and help, from what my understanding is. The first time it got pulled up, they had some help from Montpelier come up, and it was a disaster.
Uh-huh.
They didn't, I got to pull this turf up. They pulled the turf up. They don't keep track of where everything is.
It's gonna be exciting, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, like, it really does take almost 2 days to do it. There's no, and he's doing everything he can for the ways of putting the turf up and down.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, to take it up and down so much is tough.
Which is why we try to schedule all these events
Right.
back to back.
So we're only taking it up and down once, this whole thing. The issue more is that there's 3 events that are going kind of back to back.
Yeah.
Back.
And setting up in between, it's just.
It's,
Yeah.
we'd get like Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because we could put it down on Monday, Tuesday, and have to tear it up Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
That's just a lot of labor for,
How many events would you run over there versus here Now, this is gonna be out of commission, so we won't be able to use this.
But probably the witches event could have gone over here.
Yeah.
Oh, originally when they were talking, they were looking at both buildings.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. What's a witches event?
Yeah.
Michelle can answer that better, but it's more
No, I know.
occult, fantasy. And then the other event is like a holistic healing type event. So that those two are separated because there's going to be some kind of vendor overlap.
And then the clothes drop, is that always in April or when is?
That is in May. That's the time they really like to have it.
So like next year, for instance, this should hopefully be up and running.
This will be up and run over here, but it probably will be over there.
That one event.
That one event
So,
would be pull up
year,
Wednesday and put it back in on Monday.
Like last month or something like that.
What's that?
Could they do it at the end of the month, the 1st of June, or?
I guess we'd have to work on their schedule.
And is it safe to say that most events would be on the weekend? In other words, if we needed to rent the space for 3 weekends, 4 weekends, whatever it may be, just to stop somebody going in there and using it and us not being able to use it, would that be feasible? Being very selfish here, but.
Yeah, rentals,
Why wouldn't we be a
rental,
little
but
bit selfish?
They rented for the
they rent the whole day,
whole day. It's,
1550. And they're renting Saturday and Sunday, which makes it worth the while to pull the turf up considering what we make during the week for.
And what
Or
we're
have-
saying is that I think 1550 would be worth it for us to keep it down.
Well,
Because we could also be running clinics in there. We could be running,
I'm not gonna argue to keep the turf down, it's less work for us, but I'm just looking to maximize the revenue
right.
1550 is one day,
one day.
so it's 3100 for the weekend.
Mhm.
And you're talking about 3 weekends this year.
Ideally, what would be nice if we keep it down for April and May. And close to the last April or beginning of June, if that would work in their schedule. I don't know, we'd have to have that conversation. But if it was down for all of April and May, USA and the other turf rentals would get their maximum use out of it during the weather. If it gets really nice and feels dry out, you guys probably wouldn't really use it at the end of April, would you?
Yeah, we still would, because in all honesty, our fields can't hold, they can't hold up.
Very city on.
Berry City, Spalding, we pretty much put in that till, I would say almost Memorial Day. For practice wise, we would prefer the turf over being out on our fields and having them torn up during practice weeks.
When you say Barry City, you mean Farrell?
No, the
No.
elementary school.
The elementary
Oh.
school,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that when we played football up there.
Yeah, the dump.
The dump, yeah, the dump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's just holes there, but it's just not safe for the kids football.
Mary City Field
Yeah, as you're going up, that first field that you come to.
The school.
by the elementary school.
Yeah.
That one.
It's Farrell tends to puddle pretty good too.
Right, but soccer is also on.
Yeah.
In
I
the
mean, I would
spring.
just say for next year, Rotary seems to be the one biggest issue at this point in time. Somebody talk to them ahead of time and ask them if they can put it off as long as they can. Even if it was the last weekend or second last weekend in May,
Okay.
they'd be better off than earlier in May. So, I mean,
Right,
you know,
Yeah, maybe we could do a little bit of both. Us rent and encourage somebody that's renting it during that time frame to, bump it forward a couple weeks or 3, 4 weeks.
So when you say rent, I mean, are you talking about, and I don't know what your deal is with the term, everything that we sell on and so on and so forth. And I think you're talking about renting it during the course of the week too, not just on the weekend or whatever.
Well, I mean, we certainly wouldn't pay for the weekdays if we didn't have to, but my point is to benefit us, if we had to pay for 3 weekends that were possibly going to be rented by somebody else, we would consider doing it.
But you don't normally need them during the weekdays. We just want to have. them on the
I believe they're in
weekends.
here Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
We're usually here 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days a week during the week, and then baseball's in here the other days. And then, we were running a Sunday clinic for the youth, for a couple hours as well.
So between you and baseball, it's not maybe 7 days, but it's 4 or 5
It's
or
probably
6.
six, it's probably 6 days, yeah.
And
I don't have-
what's the status of the woodchuck lacrosse guy?
Oh, yeah.
Out there. What is your need that time of year?
We go once or twice a week through July. All of our players are playing BYSA stuff in April and May. And some transition period, and we begin in fall.
So that's not a time frame that you need use. Okay.
Well, I also coach BYSA. So I'm there
Yep.
anyway, but yeah, that's true.
All right.
I think one of our other questions is, you're talking about tables on the turf and stuff like that. Last year, the Easter egg hunt, I know my dad and I were there. We could not be there this year, but we were kind of only because our table was right near the door. To have somebody kind of people going onto that turf. One, people were going on there with really, really muddy shoes. There was people about to walk out there with their coffee cup, which I get. It's a, Saturday morning and you're there with your kids, but we can't have people walking out there with their drinks and stuff like that. And then also just taking into consideration the amount of chocolate that was just on the turf and not the easiest to clean up with like the wrappers and all of that stuff. So, we were not able to be there this year. So we just kind of want to make sure that somebody's going to be able to be there to kind of say,
I believe Michelle is going to be at that event.
okay. Yeah. Because there was a woman last year at one point that was trying to set up her face painting table over next to right next to the hockey bench on the turf. And I said to Michelle last year, I was like, hey, can we have her go on the other side? I don't think face painting really should go.
Yeah, paint should not be on the turf.
Yeah. So she was trying to set up her table right there though, and
Yeah.
they did move her, and last year was the first year of it, so I think it just was a little bit of a learning curve as well, but just to be aware of the few things last year that we kind of ran into.
Yeah, Michelle is well aware. We've got additional walk-off mats out there now
Perfect.
to clean the dirt, as much dirt off their feet before they get into the rubber or the turf.
Okay.
And we'll make sure we'll put up some additional signage.
Yeah.
And Michelle will be there.
I had signs made up last year by Yipes that I plan on bringing up soon too, that said no food, drink on the turf, that are window plane that can go on the glass
Oh,
as well. Just because after that event, we realized sometimes people don't think coffee's a drink.
they forget it's in their hand.
It's hands down. So I think, or like a bottle of water, and it's like, yes, the water's a little different, but even because the turf can absorb it, but even still, we just don't want any of that out there. So
No.
I can definitely bring those up.
Thank you.
Can you add muddy shoes to your sign?
I want to say it actually does say maybe something about dirty shoes. And it says no drinks, including coffee. It does say that, but I can bring them up because they cling right to the windows. And then also we're wondering, is there a plan at all for the roof repair?
Yep, it's on the capital plan.
Okay. And then lastly, I guess, we were in the past sent a report on the revenue that had been made from the rentals that showed and this is probably more of a Michelle question too, but, that showed specifically the,
Replacement fund,
Yeah.
so to speak.
just so that we know that that's kind of still going there, even though that's, 15-year plan. We just want to make sure it's still.
So you're talking the civic center revenue fund I think Nicholas used to send that when we had the meetings,
Yeah, this is
and it does show the
We,
breakout.
we get,
for
yeah, Christina generates it for us like
Yeah.
once a quarter.
Separate from the civic center fund.
It's
It's
separate.
separate,
Yeah.
Separate center fund, but a small portion of every rental gets put into a fund.
Yeah.
When you pay the invoice to the city, it differentiates between the two. It'd just be nice to see the total somewhere separate, on a balance sheet.
Right.
So, quick question, the sign says 23rd turf's gonna be available for rents, but since it's going down sooner, is it gonna be available before?
There's only a week.
What?
There's only, the 23rd is a week from Monday.
Oh, so when's the turf gonna be
Putting down?
Yeah.
Next week.
next week? Okay, so I'll be on rentals next week.
We may do a open turf event that first weekend. Michelle may have an open turf
Get the
event
word out.
to,
Yeah.
like she did with Halloween skate.
Just get the word out, get people up there.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Which if you guys do something like that, shoot us an email saying you are doing that, because we'll put it out on all of our pages. We'll, send it out to all of our athletes
Mhm.
via email and let them know, because I know a lot of kids, just like I think the other hard part too with some of the stuff too, is just like the communication, because like the open gym has really taken off, especially during school break.
School breaks,
The
yeah.
amount of kids that are up here is amazing to see in that open gym.
The afternoon open
And
gym.
the afternoon open gym, yeah. And, it's great. And I think we could do something just like that, open turf wise, delegated at times to, you obviously can't have kids out there running with a soccer ball and then also throwing a lacrosse ball.
Right.
100%. But if you delegated, Monday, Wednesdays, open soccer.
Michelle is doing that.
Yeah, so we could, and that's where we could help put some of that information out to a lot of our athletes to let them know, because I think a lot of times just seeing it on, once on Facebook or just up on the board downtown, not as many parents just pay attention to it, and
Okay.
we could help get some kids just up here and doing. It's just great to see the amount of kids that care to come up here during open gym time and just play.
The gym and the open ice times during
Yeah.
the break as well.
Mhm.
They're
Michelle's doing a good job with whatever's going on the turf or in the auditorium or whatever, putting signs on the doors way ahead of time,
Yeah.
letting people know what's going to be. Yeah.
That's been helpful too,
Yeah.
to know when like it's closed or something like
Yeah.
that because of a party or, yeah, I agree.
It's also good. I post a lot of that stuff. I mean, Michelle makes those flyers digitally as well, obviously. I post all that stuff to the Barre, Vermont Civic Center Facebook and Instagram. And she just sent a bunch of flyers for open soccer, lacrosse, walking. There's something else. So I can send those flyers to you and they'll all be posted next week to start, once that turf is down the week of the 23rd.
Okay.
So that information is available on what you post and then probably the city website.
I guess
On the
that's
calendar, at the very least.
And G sends pretty much everything to you, Matt. And
Yeah.
you post it all.
Yeah, it's becoming a little part-time job. Just because of all the content she's creating. It's
Nice. Good.
Yeah, she's getting on it with that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
so that's good. Okay, well, I think that was all pretty reasonable stuff. Obviously next year, the big thing will be to get down as much as we can. Back to the Rotaries.
And we will consider, and I hope that you guys will consider also perhaps even some insider information about somebody that may want to rent it if we have to cut them off at the pass and pay for rental for a couple of days. And it would be nice if somebody could be encouraged to schedule a few weeks down the road as well. We'll talk amongst ourselves about that.
Michelle works very hard at that
Oh, good.
right now.
Good.
She tries to get all these events as close together as possible.
Nice.
When the turf comes up.
So
Right.
we
Right.
pull it up and then we pack it full and then we put it back down.
Right, next year we should be able to have most of them.
Well, we'd like to, we'll push it for over there.
And
with
the
the,
Rotary would be the big one. I don't know who the contact of the Rotary is.
Well, it'd be the Rotary, and then it would also be if the heavy equipment.
heavy, yeah.
If they do come back here, for that, which I know that was the one that always kind of pushed us.
That's
Last-
last week, though, right?
They're in on Wednesday, Thursday.
Right, but it was another time that like. the
It'd be
turf would
another,
have to be
that,
pulled up,
but
so
that's
it's
like a week of turf out.
Right, so it's 2 days, 2 days, and then, so that would just be the other one to consider for next year, so that we could actually have just more availability in there for the kids.
I would suggest that, well, you people, BYS, go talk to Rotary after this year's event about it. I mean, we're gonna talk to people about kids. It makes a big difference. I know their clothing things are also a big deal too, or whatever, but I think if you people would
That's
talk
a good
to
point.
that after this year's event and say,
Right.
hey, I think it would work a lot better than us saying.
Right. Yep, good point.
Because of this,
Is the Barre Rotary rents or is it like statewide or is it?
It's very.
It's very Rotary. And
Who is the contact for that?
that is Nicole DiDomenico.
Yeah.
Great.
I got something else before we finish. Just in terms of transition between baseball and lacrosse, what happens a lot of times, the baseball batting cage nets end up on the inside of the boards during lacrosse practice. It would be nice if someone, either baseball or from the city, can take those out before lacrosse starts. And similarly, I was kind of thinking, if our lacrosse goals have been sitting there after practice, like we can make sure our stuff is off out of respect for the baseball, so they don't have to lug goals off. I don't know if anyone's brought that up, but it would be nice to have those off the
Everyone
field.
should be encouraged to clean, take your stuff off the field.
Yeah.
Unless if the girls cross gone and the boys are next, don't leave it up, but I would think if baseball's coming in, you should take your stuff off and vice versa.
Michelle has done an excellent job of scheduling. So we have a baseball, softball day.
Yeah.
And then next day is lacrosse.
Yeah.
So we have time to pull the nets over the glass because
It's not as easy. as
they are a
sounds.
bear.
Yeah, they're really.
Especially trying to get them back onto it.
Yeah.
Because the hooks on the back side of the glass catch the net every single time you pull it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm familiar.
Yeah, you understand.
So yeah, that's cool.
There's
There's
I guess
kind of a plan there.
the hope this year is we're only going to set up 2 cages instead of 4 cages. The ones on this end, they go off the turf much easier. You avoid as much of the glass as possible.
Right.
And it'll just be a matter of switching the pitching machines between baseball practice and softball practice.
Well, it's like kids in lacrosse loves it. So we got a little issue with making it available, but it's nice to see it's pretty much out of their thing.
Just about every single day.
Yeah, excellent.
Now we're happy that Tom's crew is doing it quite efficiently, it seems. That
Yeah.
first time or two that we did it,
The first time.
nobody knew what they were doing.
And then the second time, getting it pulled up and not pulled up in order, and then having new pieces cut, and so that was a disaster.
Yeah.
But by that, I mean us not knowing what we were doing.
Yes.
Right. They've done it a couple, 4 or 5 times now, and we've got a good list. And if you put it on the pallet correctly, it comes off the pallet correctly, and it's getting much more efficient than what it was in the past.
When Jim and I came up to your meeting, you were concerned about turf that was missing.
Yeah. Perhaps that wasn't a solid information, but was there some turf missing?
I've heard there's been some pieces that have walked away, but
Okay.
I don't know how many or what
Yeah.
or.
Okay.
There's obviously enough to
Oh yeah, we still
get it done. So.
have some spares.
They gave us several spares one day.
I think we have like almost half a pallet
Oh, okay.
of spares.
Yeah, all right, good.
And scrap pieces, and just that we can.
You're not running all
Fit in.
that stuff, it's pretty heavy.
Well, that's.
Yeah, you need to back up with a truck.
This was back before all the locks were changed. Once all the locks were changed, there hasn't been any issues, but Prior to the locks being changed, I believe there was.
All right.
You're
Some golfer needed a driver.
Pretty thick rough. I need one, but it's not gonna do me any good.
Oh, and random question for in there, just because there's been a few articles of things. You know, is there an AED machine in the?
Yes, there is.
There is, okay. And do you have one in here?
We have one in the odd and we have one downstairs.
Okay.
Outside the Washington.
I think we're just, as a youth program, unfortunately, the amount that you see younger children have issues, we just want to make sure that all of our facilities that we're using various.
They have them and they're maintained by the fire department.
Perfect.
Any questions you want to say or anything else put on the table?
No, just congratulations on the wrestling. You've been taking for 22 years. But you couldn't do it in your time. Now the younger kids doing it. But congratulations, that's good.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
Very good.
Very weekend.
That's the,
How does the tournament itself go? I mean, 2 years ago it was hosted here, this year, not so much. How was the experience between the two?
Much better here.
Yeah.
And I heard it from more than one coach last weekend. They did a good job, but I don't think they did a great job.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna take a lot of the credit. The building deserves a lot of the credit. It's a perfect spot for a wrestling tournament.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So we booked it for next year. We're doing it next year.
nice.
That's
The
great.
VPA lady, what's her name?
Lauren Thomas.
Said to our president of our association when he told her that it was going to be back at the odd, she said, how about for the next 10 years?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was.
I got one of the wrestlers working for me and then he just, he had a great time this year because he won. But he also said that, it's fantastic when I was here.
Yeah,
He enjoyed it much more when it was in this facility, so. That's similar feedback from other people, so that's great about you coming back.
We are too.
That's great.
Yeah.
Home court advantage.
Yes.
Yeah, they were up here. Spalding was up here wrestling, practicing up here.
Yeah.
A week.
Just to get used to the building.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming by.
Thank you guys.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice how you doing?
Beck, I'll call you later if I need some more information.
Okay. All right.
April,
Sounds good. For what?
the April 7th, is that when they're meeting?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you
I'll see
tonight.
you tonight.
You're around to see you. Congrats.
See you later.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I think that was. Some of the stuff. Our hands are tied a little bit this year with the, he's not having this building, so much else we can do for this year.
How much does the truck thing cost me? They pay for how many days?
What did they say for 2 days?
They get the whole uphill.
I think it's 2.5 days.
Yeah.
So that must be $5,000-6,000.
It's gotta be 6
Yeah.
or more.
I mean, you
Well,
could-
it's 1550 for both
Yeah.
a piece for both buildings. So you're at $6,000 right there. Then I think they pay for a half day for setups.
The whole part of this is that we need them and they need us. We got to just do the best job we can. They gonna work?
I mean, say it's $8,000 a week for, gotta take $8,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus it brings people in to the community,
Right.
which is also,
That's-
that's the,
8,000.
that's so. But
Because having people come to town, yeah.
You might say also pay the lower rate. It both goes 2 weeks there, or 2 days there, right? It'd be quarter.
Yeah, financially, we have to do that kind of stuff. I would say that if we can encourage the Rotary, and I don't know if the equipment show would move back a little bit, but whatever we could do to keep.
If we could-
May
If we could
open would be great.
put them back to back,
Yes.
the equipment show is Wednesday, Thursday, and the Rotary is Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Perfect.
That's perfect. That's what we would really push.
Yeah.
Is get it together so we get as much as we could, and then that would be a $10,000 week.
It's a hell of a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think when these renters come, that's why I encourage them to go to Rotary. When you talk about,
Yeah.
you know,
instead of
people,
us-
something for kids, you know, they think about it. It may not, you know, have a major effect on the decision, but I think it
Yeah,
makes a
and-
point,
and-
so.
All honesty, we do give Rotary a discount on the rentals because they're a civic organization.
Yeah.
And they're not putting any money in their pocket. It's all going back out into the community.
I doubt, and I don't know, but I would doubt that they're locked into one specific. That they have to get it done. You know?
No, they-
There's some flexibility in their schedule and can push it off.
Right.
a little bit.
Yeah, or with the heavy equipment, because the heavy equipment, I can't imagine they can go back in June if they want to do it earlier.
They gotta do it before their construction season kicks. You know, that early May is their time because they don't have snow and they really haven't kicked into full on construction season yet.
Okay, well, excellent. So, let's move forward. The next one would be, and I'll put this in your court, Tom, is the auditorium upgrade.
Auditorium upgrades. Last week we had a Zoom meeting with them. I've seen some of the preliminary designs that they're working on.
This is with FFF.
And REARC, yes. Yeah. The preliminary designs have 2 additional bathrooms going in the lobby. And those little ticket window alcoves. So we'll have 2 actual ADA compliant bathrooms. I was surprised there are going to be 2 stalls.
So those are gonna be, the old ones are staying, and then you're just adding 2 more.
Right,
So where the ticket booths are.
right.
Kind of expanding.
Probably you do the ticket booth, they're gonna be.
The ticket booths, we're probably gonna have to move the window maybe onto the end. Something like that. And a lot of times now the tickets are all on their phone.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all digital. They walk in and if you walk in with a paper ticket, most people look at you like you're a caveman.
The only paper tickets we're doing now is up in the balcony.
Because VPA hasn't figured out a way to do those.
Yeah. And,
I mean, one ticket would probably be fine, in the middle or something.
That's all
Yeah, we could
that's
do
all
something.
we're using for the basketball right now. We're just using.
and then they're adding another women's room downstairs. Again, these are all preliminary. They're more just, we got to figure out how much it's going to cost before we get. But that bathroom,
Part of that?
yeah.
So that would be for locker rooms.
Yeah, I'm working my way through the building.
Okay.
Okay. A women's room that sits where your office is now downstairs. It's going to take about that same footprint to get us up to compliance on number of fixtures for the number of people in the building. You need more women's rooms than you do men's rooms.
Yeah,
More stalls.
There's no women's rooms down
There's none in the basement, but you've got 2 up in the stairwells. But yeah, they're going to add a big one there.
So they're designing the locker rooms downstairs and the rec room and all that. We still don't know, you know, there's, in terms of the priorities, there's electrical and HVAC and all that stuff, and then the locker room. And we're hoping that there's enough money to do all that.
That's why I'm holding on to that civic center fund
Right.
with both hands. If
Um,
we need to have some money, that's where it should go.
And that's where, you know, that's where the match, not getting the match is, yeah, it's hard because of the money's gonna run out sooner, obviously.
Is the fingerprint where the referee's room, is that going to stay right there? Or is that
There-
being moved?
The current referee room gets turned into one of the new locker rooms,
Oh, okay.
and where we have our storeroom and our janitor's closet, that gets turned into referees' rooms and the 4th locker room.
You just put janitor closet down.
They haven't told me where they're going to put my janitor's closet yet.
I mean, you've got plenty of room down. Boilers are in there, plenty of room that next level down.
But you can't get the machine down there.
there. The floor machine.
I got to have a floor where I can get the floor machine up and down. Initially they had talked about putting a roof over the old coal bin and coming in from above, but
It's Castle Spa.
they don't have enough clearance. Yeah. So I gotta find out where we gotta put a,
What about underneath the stairs? Stored in there.
nah, you can't store stuff in a stairwell.
That's what you're paying them. That's what you're paying them for, is to come up with a plan.
No, the front stairs.
And he knows all.
Oh, in that front stairwell?
Stuff in there too.
Yeah, we have stuff in there right now, and then they'll be insulating that room. And we could use that for storage, but it's not gonna work for plumbing.
So you need to have plumbing to fill the machine up, obviously, right?
Right. Right, we gotta have a custodial closet.
Yeah.
And I asked about removing that slop sink from the men's room.
Mhm.
And they said no, because you should have one on both floors.
Really?
Yeah, they said there's also a code on how many slop sinks you need for a building.
We can't take the slop sink out of the bathroom up on the main floor, main freeway, is that your problem?
Because you need to have one on that floor as well.
I don't disagree, you need to have one, but having a slop sink in a bathroom is just, take a wall up or something to be nice.
But you also need to have room enough to dump your mop bucket into it without hurting yourself.
Well,
And then, those are pretty much the major renovations so far. Then it's, upgrading the lights and that electrical panel and the rooftop units for the heating and cooling.
Maybe we can fundraise. Because just the engineering and the architecture, it's so much money. It's so, they don't work cheap.
New exterior doors.
They're gonna be either just weather sealed or new ones. Yeah, depending on
Okay.
Yeah.
Monies. Yeah.
Monies.
Yeah, okay.
New windows.
The windows are a big thing.
Yeah, for probably everywhere except the front windows off the balcony level.
Oh, are they not gonna do them?
Well, they're historical. It may get prohibitive to do.
Is historical
do
get
those.
enough money for this?
Oh no,
Well, then
They don't-
there's usually a trade-off there.
no, there's no trade off.
we're not paying a heating bill either, fellas.
They're not paying a heating bill. They don't care how much energy it costs you. They just want to keep it historical.
Is that the historical both inside and outside, or just?
It's more outside.
Yeah,
The look. They do give way to, yes, we need to modernize some things. We can't keep it historical completely.
Usually there's some tax credits that go along with it, the city owns it, so it's kind of like we don't pay tax anyway, so I guess it really, so. I would say we're gonna do what I want. I mean, what is that?
No, they'll come in and shut you down. They'll start finding you till you have nothing left.
Yeah, they're part of the equation. That's why we got rid of the wheel lock building when we did.
What's that?
That's why we got rid of the wheel lock building when we did.
Oh, yeah.
Roof, windows, all that stuff would all have to be historically correct.
Yeah, and that's also affecting the city hall work.
Mhm.
The windows, yeah.
The windows in there are horrible. And they're saying we may have to keep those windows and just go in and seal them up. Makes no sense, but
Yeah. When Blake Rock did their renovations, they said they had to keep those old windows. It would have cost them thousands and thousands of dollars to renovate those windows. I don't know how they still got their tax credit and got new windows. I don't know, but they did it. They were talking 120 windows or something like that in that building.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Efficiency Vermont helping with any of the stuff in the pod? No.
No.
All the lights over there?
No,
Nothing.
I checked with Efficiency Vermont when we did the lights over at the BOR, and they said they no longer give the rebates for LEDs because they're so common now.
What about the heating or anything else with the air conditioning, heating system, anything?
I haven't checked it. But usually Efficiency Vermont is you pay for it and they'll reimburse you. So it's kind of after the fact money.
They at least give you money for the light next year or something.
Yeah.
We've been involved in it, the discount comes from the supplier of the lights.
Right.
So they probably double the price and they cut it in half.
Yeah.
Is that how it works in business?
Yes.
It could be.
He's revealing secrets.
Yeah.
So, quick question on that. I mean, there was some sort of match and the city was gonna try to come up with some money. That went away. They, gave us money without the match. Is there any talk about trying to get some more funds for this project from the city grants or somehow to add to the pot?
Not at the moment. We could talk to the council.
Like a bond.
Well, it would be terrible, it'd be too bad to get 80% of the way we want there and not be able to cross the finish line, so to speak.
Mm.
So, monies are tight.
Well, yeah, and with all the flood repair stuff that's still out there that we haven't gotten any money for, look at the north end, it's still sitting there dilapidated. So,
Look at the roads.
the road's there.
Sorry.
It don't matter what
That's-
anywhere.
Right, the high school level.
And that was right on the list.
I know, I heard that, the Woodland Drive, and not allowing
Oh,
craters in it,
the good news.
really craters.
We're getting a new driveway out here.
Already saw the postings on that, too.
Yeah.
Why are they gonna pay Auditorium Hill but not Air Street?
Well, because they're working on seminary and it's,
Some areas got new water and sewer lines.
yeah, it's getting through. So
Are they gonna pave the parking lot too?
no, just the driveway up to the front of the BOR.
Are we lining the parking lot? I heard-
I inherited the old paint machine
Yeah.
from DPW, and once we get that running, we're gonna paint our parking lot in the front.
So you guys gotta give it to you and you guys. pick.
Well, they didn't use it, and all we got to get the motor running on it.
That's the mentality of-
Let your brother treat you like that.
Oh, I am the older brother, and this is kind of payback from things in the past.
It'll make a difference with this being painted, with it lined out there as far as parking.
Come up with a tournament circuits.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. I put the cones out.
That's much better.
Figured the tournaments committee is all parking at that end, and this will be parking and out there.
All right, any questions for the odd? Oh, okay. Moving on to the next one, which is the Civic Center, just general projects that are going on. I did want to talk about the floor, we had some of the VOR floor. Can you just kind of fill us in what happened last week?
We had a pinhole leak in one of the lines coming out of the header. The same thing we had last fall. We repaired it. We did not have enough glycol left on hand to recharge the system. By the time we got the glycol here, this season would have been over. No,
So they worked on that header last year.
they put the new header in last year, and we had this problem with the plastic pipe coming out of the floor being brittle, and every time they would put a nipple in it, it would split and you'd have to cut it back again.
So this pinhole happened in the plastic line.
Yeah.
Next to the header.
Is that a lot of pressure for those things or?
It's like 28 pounds, something like that. Not extreme, but enough to poke a hole in it.
Huh.
And
That's a
yeah, so
wrong time, it happened,
well, that's not bad time. We lost
But
one game. Better than January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just lost one game, that's all.
We lost the games on that Saturday,
Yeah,
and then we lost the playoff games,
and then practices.
and then the practices.
Both Spalding teams lost.
Yeah.
So those tubes
Are they corroding because of the atmosphere or are they corroded?
They're 50-year-old black plastic pipes.
Right, but are they?
55 years.
Are they preserving better under the concrete or?
Couldn't tell you. There may be holes in them somewhere underneath the concrete that we just, because we do lose some glycol over the season. We got to keep an eye on that and keep putting some in there, but I don't know.
I'm just wondering if you got to fix that, can you just chip out like close to the header? Or if you got to,
It depends where the leak is. If we get a leak where we can't get to it, we wind up, the option is we plug that line, and then you'll have it'll leave us, looks like a stripe down the ice. Right? It changes the color of the ice, right? And you'll see that line running down the ice. But you'll still be able to skate and play, and it's just,
Right, this is a major issue because some of that.
it's
Lane box, those couple lines or something like that.
to replace the floor is 1.2 million.
That's the lines and the floors. Well, I mean, Letty Park was built before this place was.
And they've had that. They've had theirs redone.
They've had to have theirs redone?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I don't know how much it
Not-
was.
Norwich, we replaced the floor at, I think it was 20 or 25 years.
You just did it just because.
No, because they had a leak.
And this one's 50.
This one's 55 years old. You've been dancing with the devil for quite a while.
At Norwich, the original Rick was in the old.
The old horse stable, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
That was a shit hole.
That was an awful.
There.
Drag us over, Jared, you drag us over there all the time.
Oh, we used to have, when we have to work in there in the locker rooms, we would go in, open all the doors, go take coffee break, and come back just so you could breathe in there. It just stunk so bad. Oh, you felt like taking a shower when you got done. But that was it was a good rink to watch a hockey game in. I watched the last Middlebury Norwich game in there.
Yeah.
That was fun.
We used to make the trip over to Taylor every winter, watch Spalding play. Oh, yeah. You'd hang over the glass and the guy running the Zamboni had that little orange hat, you'd grab it off his head and pass it around. And so when you get to the other side, somebody put it back on his head. 1970, there was four Bedeaus on the ice at one time, I can tell you that.
And that went on for about 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
How all those people lived in that little house on River Street, I've never been able to figure out.
No, Berlin Street.
Well, on River Street for a while.
Is there any plan to tackle these tubes?
We're gonna drain it, see how much we have left in it, repair it, and then we'll recharge it.
Yeah.
The repair we did, we were told that's exactly what the contractor would have done it. So but we'll go in there and do the same thing we did before. We'll cut that piece out again, and
So you got daily people look into that pit or whatever.
they look at the reservoir.
And they saw it was a big leak.
They saw and they checked the temperatures on the going out and the return temperatures, and they were up into the 20s. Then he saw that it was out of fluid, and then he called. And we went over and shut the compressors off so it didn't burn them up.
And there's no way to like line those pipes.
I don't think so.
That pipe.
There's a pipe every 6 inches across that floor.
Right.
There's a lot of piping.
That's the best ice in the state of Vermont. They did it
Mhm.
right originally.
Yeah. So
You say you have to drive a piece in to make a joint or whatever?
it's just a short nipple
Yeah.
to join the two pipes.
I just wondered if there was some system that you could clamp the outside of the pipe, because I can envision driving something in there and it expands it and it's brittle.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. They
Yeah.
usually use a barbed
Mhm.
nipple.
Yep.
They had to do away with those because the exact same thing. That it's so brittle that just those barbs would just split it.
I mean, that's why I said, if they had fitting that they could clamp on the outside and see them from the street out of it.
Yeah, so we just went with, they got black iron short nipples that slide in there and they put a couple hose clamps on it. Again, the pressure's not that bad. With a piece of red rubber hose between the header and the pipes.
How many gallons it takes to fill that bar up?
2800?
20 or 2000?
Yeah.
Yeah,
28 gallons, we'd go wet.
I know.
I'd go down to, Fisher and buy them out. 2800 is a different story.
So we split up with 48.
Yeah, I know. I was like 28. That ain't bad.
They were happy there for a minute.
Oh, yeah, what were we waiting for, right?
Yeah.
If it's 28, we've been playing. But
This is, we obviously have an issue now that, it's, if we don't do something, it's gonna bite us. We don't have 1.2 million, so it's.
we need to seriously think about what we want to do over there.
Yeah.
We're gonna be putting in close to $2 million into that building between the floor and the roof, and you're gonna wind up with what you've got.
Yes.
An old building with outdated facilities.
How's the building doing?
That I don't know.
More than 2 million.
Probably more than 2 million.
But I said, yeah, no.
I think, I've been thinking about it. We may want to look at like a steel building.
Well, that's what you would do.
Yeah, just do a steel building in this parking lot. Put a brick fascia on the front of it to kind of mirror the odd. And then the rest of it can just be a steel building.
I mean, talking to, again, I've brought us up before, but everybody's type of mind right now.
How
But
many square footage?
there's other communities that use this.
What's the surface square footage?
The ice is
Oh, building.
I don't have that one off the top of my head, but the ice is 90 by 200.
That's not 200 feet. Close.
Yeah, it is.
Is that 200 feet? Right?
200. I think it's 85. by
Something like
200.
that.
I thought it was that long.
We have a whole building fighting these problems from the locker rooms, the ventilation, everything, right? It's just gonna be this losing battle.
You're up here, you're in the same situation that the Public Works Department was in with putting up a new facility for them.
You told the location of the public works and everything.
The location wasn't very nice.
No.
It is a location.
And I don't know, this location is definitely better, a little higher than that.
But
I gotta tell you,
has there been discussion with the city manager about the status of things there and what his opinion is?
Oh, over here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've talked with him. And just everybody seems to know we don't have any money.
Aging water treatment plant, aging wastewater plant. We've got these buildings up here. We got, Public Works is now moving out of theirs, but there's so many needs. City Hall has a lot of needs.
I can tell you what 60-foot by 110-foot steel building costs. It was only 3 sides. Because we're going to another one. You're talking about a lot of money.
I'm gonna guess it's probably gonna be conservative 10 million or better.
Mhm. Stowe did their better a number of years ago. Stowe, we built their rank for 6 million. That was probably 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're in that.
And you're talking about 10 million plus, and basically you're putting a floor in again. You don't have the removal of the floor or whatever.
Right.
But
You'd have to put that in.
Already 1.2 million to take it out, put it in. I mean, it's yeah.
That's why this discussion should happen soon.
Yeah.
Do we put the money into that building? And then we're sitting on it for probably 10, 15 years minimum.
Then you're having that conversation all over again.
Then you have the roof
We
again.
don't have a lot of confidence. I mean, it shut down this season, right at the end of the season. If this happened at the beginning of the season.
Well, we did have a leak at the beginning of the season. We lost like 3 days, 4 days, a week or so. But
2 weeks in one season. It's certainly it's gonna happen next year, almost.
I mean, happens twice, twice this year. It's not gonna get better.
I don't say that.
Well, I think he wants to have turf year round.
Like I said, that's what I said. I mean, there's supposed to be evaluation. How many kids are playing hockey now? We got these other rings. So do we have a turf facility?
Well, there's a reason why Montpelier kicks U32 out.
Yeah, we have an agreement with Capital Soccer, March 1st, they're on that turf.
Yeah.
No, my kids are playing futsal, but having a turf facility all winter. I think huge plus the cost to build that would be.
Somebody came looking,
It's heat.
asking about that.
No heat in there.
Right, you don't mind skating in, 0-degree weather.
No, you heat it, but
Yeah, but somebody came looking for a place to put turf down. I don't remember. They tried they wanted to go into the new DPW garage, ask if they were using the whole space. Okay. Yeah, they're using the whole space.
There's a need. Part of the, I mean, whether it's hockey or soccer or lacrosse or whatever, it's the height of the building. I mean, the higher you go, no posts or anything like that. I mean, the span of the conversation is just.
That's a good building though for. The church is working out great, the rink is fantastic, but this is a big discussion that's gonna happen because.
Well, you get, no matter whichever building, you gotta maintain it. On an ongoing basis, and we're talking about something that's 50 years old. The roof has been replaced, I think, once.
It was
It's
1980 something.
yeah, the roof is about 20 years old.
So I mean, in 20 years on a new building.
But
And
it's not
which-
so much the roof itself, it's the structure holding the roof because it was not built to be enclosed. So there was never put any dehumidifiers in there. That's why we cut that section out, 2-3 years ago and patch it. It was all rotted.
And there's another piece.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure if they
So there's gonna add.
tested the whole thing, we only tested that section. We tested that whole thing. I'm sure you find it throughout there.
And I mean, whether it's just the roof itself or what's under the roof has to be taken care of. It's not different in a house. If the roof leaks, the stuff that's under the roofing has got to be replaced.
If you start seeing softness in those arches, you're done.
Well, the arches, yeah. I'm not convinced.
It's not, it was the beams running across.
Yeah.
That's where we'll find it.
Yeah. Well, the arches themselves, you have to talk to somebody as smart as I am, but they were something made out of some wood that was made for moisture and things like that.
Yeah,
They had to do them twice.
Big glue lamb type beams.
Right, but we've introduced a lot more moisture into that building than it was ever designed to handle.
Well, there was an air circulation system that Bernie Godot shut off to save a couple of bucks on the electricity. And I mean, I'm not saying it was the best system in the world, but it should have been running every day, all day, type of thing. It wasn't.
But it wasn't designed for that.
No, well, I know
It was open.
they added it.
It was wide open. It was a Quonset.
They would have had the farm shows, put the plastic over it, and so they could heat it.
In those big heaters.
Yeah, a lot of those big heaters, they could heat it. And then they never took the plastic off and started the things again.
Well, this is a big discussion in terms of that.
Yeah.
facility.
Somebody smarter than
what
us.
to do and how to do it, and is there money available and keep it open, all that stuff. So we'll talk about that, I'm sure several times in the upcoming. Moving on a little bit, in terms of Civic Center project. Matt put together something, sent it out. This was just kind of for, a signage on the BOI, which would be a nice project. You had a bunch of pictures of all the other places in here, and at least, I was surprised none of them have like hockey players, figure skaters, something like that, but they all have the labeling of the building. Want to talk about that a little bit, Matt?
Yeah, the one that does have kind of a figure skating, the Essex skating facility. I don't know if you guys have been up there. I haven't been able to get. There's no good picture online of it, but it just says Essex skating skating there. I mean, anything would be good. Like we were talking about Letty, okay, I assume or whatever. That just has a plaque that says Burlington Parks and Waterfront or something like that. Kind of designating the building. I don't think anyone knows what like the BOR is, what the BOR stands for, and like, what they're walking into. Any kind of signage would be nice. I recognize there's all kinds of other things going on right now in terms of renovation and whatever else, but I drafted that RFP. It may not even need to be that. You could pretty easily commission a sign just to put above the door. Or not above the door, but above on that white wall, still back to the door as you're walking in. So yeah, I don't know. It's just an idea to kind of label the building.
The original building said 3 letters, BOR.
Yes.
Plastic letters or whatever they were.
We could have more than that across kind of where.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of room, but if you wanted to put, if you wanted to use the BOR thing, and I'm thinking that you may want or may have to, I don't know. But if you had big enough letters, foot, 2 foot or whatever, BOR, and then you put, facility or something, I don't know, if you put the, underneath it or along with it or something.
Right, it really is just BOR. There's obviously, everyone thinks that's very outdoor range. It's, it really is just BOR. I don't think you need much more than that, in terms of labeling. So something like that I think would look nice.
But if you wanted to go with just the 3 letters, the BOR, then you could get, what's his name, that does all the boards for us.
Chris.
Yeah, Chris Ford. I mean, he had some repairs he showed me one time that Jim had talked about to put somewhere in the auditorium or whatever, and then decided not to, but they're just plastic letters that get mounted up there. I don't think it would be a huge expense is what I guess I'm trying to say. And maybe it's in Tom's, the portion that he could approve without going through all of the, depending on what it is or whatever.
Well, just for, well, I won't use that language, just for, sake of knowing, I'll ask Chris, what would it take to make, whatever significant letters, BOR, and just get a rough idea of what that would cost.
Is there something else that we could add to the BOR?
Well, on our graphics and everything, I've been calling it ice and turf arena, BOR, ice and turf arena. It's sort of explaining what it is.
BOR arena. I mean, if you limit it to ice and turf, I don't know what's going to happen next year, 10 years from now, but they're on that floor. Yeah. Or whatever.
Recreation, yeah.
So I'll reach out to Chris just to get it up budget, and then we'll talk about that one more. I think it'd be nice. It's just kind of a nice looking building right now, so.
Yeah.
There's obviously bigger fish to fry than that, but that's, cross the easy ones off, I guess. Okay, anyone else got anything for the Civic Center project?
What was this about the chiller? Somebody said something. The chiller was, or is that the?
That's the floor.
That's
leak in the floor.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say the chiller was new a few years ago, or whatever they thought or whatever.
I believe that's an original chiller.
No, I believe that's been changed. We
did change the chiller.
Yeah.
But it was right before I came. So I think.
I was going to say 10 years ago, but.
Longer than that.
Time's moving pretty fast for you now.
The access.
Down there,
We
We haven't done anything on that.
On access. Because there's a company, I didn't know this until just like a couple weeks ago, there's a company in Straight Ledge, it's called the Falls.
Yeah.
Walls building, the Kelly Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They that's what they do. Apparently.
They do doors.
So
Yeah,
they do doors, they do electronic access.
Yeah.
Doors. I was talking to one of the guys who arranged a guy who turns out working. I was like, what do you guys do? They told us it's like you electronic access. They do. So they're here just put it out there. Somebody here in town that is, they do all sorts of every kind of electronic access door.
We did do one of the doors, right?
I haven't done anything to them yet. I did get a price. It's like the cheapest mechanical lock, so a push button lock. It's like $1,000.
How much?
1,000. That's the cheapest.
How much?
$1,000.
Yeah, I asked him about just. I said, he said, yeah, we can. They do all the time. So he said a lot of people just do. Colors and stuff.
If we haven't done anything with any of the doors, and now they said something about since the locks were changed or something. I don't know.
We changed the locks when I first started
Okay.
because we couldn't. Yeah, they said they had 50 something keys out and I could account for 15. So I'm like, this is ridiculous.
The front doors have locks that only a locksmith can make keys for, and the
That
director
got
has to
changed.
sign off on it. But the side doors were just a common key. I could give you a key if you're using it one day. You could run down to Nelson's and have them make a shitload of copies.
Oh, yeah. But I thought that we were gonna do one push button or whatever lock system for one
We
door.
talked about one door and then.
Yeah, and I thought-
We keep going out and then, the turf is, the code is 662 or whatever, and you can enter it. So I think that's a good project there. I still think that makes sense, just especially with the turf as it's being used more. You got a lot of different groups coming in now.
Yeah.
And I've had, talked before, I've had teams come up and the doors aren't locked and you sit there for 10, 15 minutes waiting for someone to come up and unlock the door. A bunch of kids and parents that are pissed because they want to leave. So they want to take care of the kids. Yeah, exactly. They don't be babysitting.
Actually, at the last meeting, Art made a motion that was passed that we would do, that we, said that we're gonna spend up to $2,000 for one door to install, and if that worked good, we were gonna do the next one.
So your $1,000 price would do the one door? Is that what we're talking about?
They would do a mechanical lock,
What's
the old fashioned push button
Yeah,
lock versus the electronic locks that they're talking about. It would be a mechanical code that,
You can't change it.
you would have to, you have to tear the lock apart, change the code. You're not changing it from your phone.
We would prefer the electrical one that.
Yeah.
The one-time code.
One-time code, you're in there for today. It's good between 4 and 6, then you're locked out.
But that mechanical one, was that a door and the lock?
Just the lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to see.
Where do we have to go to find an electronic?
It's funny.
Well, no, they said there's the wall, Kelly Brothers.
Kelly Brothers does it.
But,
There's another one in Montpelier that does it,
yeah, so there's a couple around here.
but you're gonna start racking up serious money. This is just a straight on mechanical lock. It just holds right there. You start running power, and then you start getting into the electronics, the IT portion of it. The apps are cheap to install, but they still cost money.
Well, which I understand, but to me, if we could get a price of whatever it is, and it's $5,000 or $10,000, I think it'd be nice to know. Hopefully it's not gonna one of those numbers, but it might be by the time you do the electrical and everything else that you might need to get to it or whatever. I still think it's something that we should try to do if at all possible. Because of what you're saying, the more activity over there.
Does anyone know the Kelly Brothers?
Huh?
Does anyone know the Kelly
Well,
Brothers?
there's a couple.
There's Kelly Brothers, and there's another place. There's the company that does the locks for us at the public safety building there in Montpelier. I don't have that name off the top of my head.
But I mean,
RK Miles must. Yes, I don't know.
I can certainly check it out, find out. Lance would probably be able to give me an answer on that. I can find out.
I mean, if my motion for $2,000 isn't enough, I'd be willing to think about more.
Find out prices.
Huh?
Yeah, find out
What's it,
prices.
who's the last one? GW.
That's where the lock, mechanical lock came from.
He doesn't sell the electronic or anything.
It's George Wolfen.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
he gave me the,
Yeah.
I said, give me just a price. And he said, well, we can give you the, so that is the lowest it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Everything else is gonna go up from there.
I mean, we should ask him, ideally we'd like sort of an electronic lock system. That's good online. So, one door, one lock, electronic that you can have access to your phone or computer or whatever. And then it would just be a good thing to get the price from him on that.
That's my point.
Yeah. Okay, you want to ask him or I can call him up too.
If you wanna,
We have something up, the locks up at the pool.
Right after they had Kelly.
I have a programmable lock. No, that's the alarm.
that's the alarm.
That's the alarm.
Mountain View, that's the company that does the electronic locks at the public safety building.
Mountain View.
Mountain Views.
Okay, so we'll reach out for next week, we'll have, or next month, we'll have a couple prices on that. Okay, moving on, Jim's not here, but Bernie, you said you have.
Yeah, just let you all know, Jim's been down south, down in Florida for just shy of 2 weeks. He's riding a 3-wheeler with his wife for about 4 miles a day. He's making some progress, but it's slow, and he's gonna be a while, and he's certainly not gonna be like he was. But spirits are good, and he's looking forward to getting back. He says everything as far as the dashers and I mean all the advertising in both buildings is right on. Everything's good that way, and everybody's re-upping and all of that. As far as the basketball tournaments, they've been going really good. We've had Tom and his staff have done a wonderful job over there making that building beautiful for every night that we're there. We basically had, I can't think of a hiccup that we've had so far, and I don't expect one.
Okay.
And we've averaged pretty close to, except for the Division 4 girls, early last week. We've had some wonderful crowds. We've sold out a couple of different times. We're going to sell out with Twinfield and Williamstown and teams like that. A lot of local teams coming back. Tonight we're going to be busy. Thursday night we're going to be the same way. So everything's gone real well. The folks downstairs that gave us the $3,000 for the new scoreboard and like that, they've been just killing it downstairs. But they do a really nice job. And we've got the Army downstairs. We've got people making sweatshirts for the kids downstairs. That all is going real well. And but like I said, Tom and his staff have done a really, really nice job making that place really spectacular every time the kids come in. So everything's going well that way. Yep.
So tonight we got Hartford and Montpelier.
Yeah.
And then Lamoille and Fairhaven.
Yeah.
And Thursday night, Randolph and Virgins, Hazen and Thetford.
Yeah.
So we should be.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna
Some good crowds.
Packed.
Oh, yeah, Randolph.
Hazen.
Oh, yeah. Montpelier's not bad, for a team that won 4 in a row, 5 in a row, but then lost all their starters. They made it for the Sundays.
Hartford,
Very good. Yeah, very good.
When does the tournament end?
Saturday. Yeah. 3 games on Saturday.
Mhm.
Can I take just a minute? Came from the what it was sent to Megan from Andrew Derby from the Richford Rockets basketball team. And I wanted to personally reach out and give a special thanks for my team coaching staff and all of Richford athletics for the outstanding hospitality you showed during our 2 visits to the auditorium. Yourself and the entire staff during these few memorable days made us feel overly welcome. It's such a privilege and honor to be part of this historic and special event. Being treated so welcomingly really helped us get settled during our anxious times. Please let all your staff know how pleased we were with their professionalism and keep up the good work. P.S. If you ever need volunteers to help with the event in years to come, I would surely be happy to help in any way. That's
Nice.
kind of nice stuff. I'm trying to get that in the paper too.
Sure. That's good. Yeah, that's real good.
Did the thing that Tracy put together and that get out to the coaches and so forth to put feedback? I understand, we sent it to Jim to kind of share out.
Okay.
I haven't gotten anything from Tracy as far as a response.
Yeah.
I can check in with her and see if we've had anything. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully, like we have the form, we have it sent it out already. If we didn't get anything for this year, hopefully for next year, send it out.
Yeah. It's nice to get those kinds of letters.
Yeah.
Nice to get that kind of feedback from the players and all the coaches and stuff like that. It's a really special thing for all of them.
Was that sent to VPA too? Did they get a copy of that?
I don't know that, but like I said, that was sent to Megan, but Megan's pretty good at pushing that out wherever. Yeah.
There was one before that too, right? Hadn't you received 2?
I guess I didn't see the other one.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have a lot of nice things to say, and hopefully we give them that, we can do that. Okay, that sounds great. Anything else to talk about on basketball or gyms or?
I can just add, I did get calls about putting a banner up in that I forwarded to Jim.
From a new sponsor?
New sponsor. Yeah. So we could have a waiting list.
I think he does, doesn't he?
I'm not sure if he has a waiting list or
He's had them in the past, I
I
think.
know that. The odds. Full.
the odds. BOR is full too.
Yeah.
I can't overestimate how important that is to the facility to have all those banners up and the money that it brings in. Jim's done a tremendous job on that. You walk in a lot of places, I got one over there and one over there, and we're full in both buildings. Credit to Jim on that one. Tremendous job. Okay, great. Moving on then, Tom, we've already talked about a lot of things. Do you have anything else to add or?
No, I'm meeting with the contractor and the architects and at noon today.
You feel we're on schedule?
I think so. I'm expecting my first batch of numbers to be in our call next Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I can have I'll push them again at.
Yeah, and those are the ticket items, the electrical and HVAC and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do they have a schedule that they can start with first, or they don't know? You're gonna find out today.
I can find out today. But, April 1st is when we're telling them you can. So really, as soon as the trappers is done,
Right.
we can start doing stuff if we need to.
Yeah, I gotta stay on because construction's never on time. It's terrible. It really is terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great. I'll just open the floor. Does that have anything else to add to the discussion?
Like I said before, they are giving us a new paved driveway and new sidewalks out front. So I'm gonna talk about getting rid of that curb that's out front.
Yeah.
And just we'll designate the sidewalk with recessed granite curbing. So then we can just walk right over.
Yeah.
We'll have to put up a bunch of bollards to keep people from driving on it.
Yeah.
But we won't have those trip hazards. People will just be able to walk right to the front of the building.
Wasn't it Sue that asked about moving?
Yes, Sue asked about putting a new walk in.
You'll be happy.
And we'll be able to, they're gonna be tearing it out anyways. So, so they're tearing it out anyway. So I'm like, let's just make it easier.
Yeah, you get a lot of foot traffic going across there, so.
Yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't one.
It'll make a big difference in how the whole, driving up the facility and how the whole thing looks. Having a road without major potholes.
Mhm. I tried to add the parking out back here and he told me no.
Yeah, fortunately, there's a few places that need to be repaired.
I was just talking about our spots right outside the building here, which is actually the worst of all this. But he told me no.
Yeah. Okay, one last thing. Got anything else? Motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Thanks.